She made it easy, she made it feel right. But now it's over, the moment is gone. I follow my hands, not my head. I know I was I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. Some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this bullshit three-ring circus sideshow freaks. Here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, I'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Fret for your figure, and fret for your latte, and fret for your lawsuit, and fret for your hairpiece, and fret for your Prozac, and fret for your pilot, and fret for your contract, and fret for your car. It's a bullshit three-ring circus sideshow freaks. Here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, I'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits. And some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this stupid shit, silly shit, stupid shit. One great big festering neon distraction. I've a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. Cause Mom's gonna fix it all soon. Mom's coming around to put it back the way it ought to be. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Fuck going hover and fuck all his clones. Fuck all these gun-toting hip gangster wannabes. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still. Follow beat, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshit. Follow back and felt bullshit through a throw anything. Fuck your tattoos. Fuck all you junkies and fuck your short memories. Yeah. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Yeah, fuck smiley glad hands with hidden agendas. Fuck these dysfunctional, insecure actresses. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. Oh, cause I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves. I wanna see the ground give way. I wanna watch it all go down. Mom, please flush it all away. I wanna see it go right in and down. I wanna watch it go right in. Watch it flush it all away. Yeah, time to bring it down again. Yeah, don't just call me pessimist. Try and read between the lines. I can't imagine why you wouldn't welcome any change. change, my friend. I wanna see it come down, put it down, suck it down, flush it down. This one is for my one and only true love, Princess Peach. Peach, you're so cool, and with my star we're gonna rule. Peach, understand, I'm gonna love you till the very end. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too. 1,000 troops of Koopas couldn't keep me from you. Princess Peach, at the end of the line, I'll make you mine. Oh, oh. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh. Peaches, peaches, peach, peach, She got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories, where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place, and if I stand too long, I'll probably break down and cry. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. She's got eyes of the bluest skies, as if they thought of rain. without a man. Hello darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seat while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. And no
This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the XboxEra podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by our community and the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our executive producers and MVPs are an amazingly generous bunch, only shown up by the incredible support of our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely XboxEra CEO, Torn Raptor. This community is the best one on the internet, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra and pledge your support. To another episode of XboxEra Headlines. The date is April the 3rd, 2025, and today Jesse and I will be talking you through all of the latest in gaming news from across the industry. Yeah, it's just Nintendo. It's Nintendo week.
We mixed in some more. It's not all Nintendo, but it's mostly Nintendo.
It's mostly pretty front-loaded with Nintendo news.
Everyone parted away.
Yeah,
they're not putting news up.
No, everything's very quiet. As a bonus, though, for our wonderful Patreon members, we make audio versions of these episodes available for them to listen to in the Patreon app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your accounts to Patreon and listen to it there instead, which is always lovely. If you want to become an awesome person like our Patreon community and our YouTube members here, head over to patreon.com/XboxEra, where you can support us directly. And it's the best way to do that because it means we get to make more cool stuff for you, which we love doing, don't we, Jesse?
We do.
Yeah, we do. We do. Honest to God, I swear, I promise. Anyways, we're here. It's Thursday. Nintendo announced the Switch 2 at long, long last. Showed it off. Showed us all of the games. And today, some hands-on impressions from folks that really love Nintendo. I mean, from other journalists from around the world. Yeah. Where do we start? Should we start with the hands-on impressions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay.
Let's start there. Let me
Jojo,
find
you
some.
can't be on top of my stream deck. You're going to press buttons.
Meow.
She's very cute.
My kittens are having fun exploring outside. It's adorable. Let's have a look.
All the leaks were true. Every last one. It ends up being pretty much everything we thought. It's an improved Switch. You got a
no DLSS though. Apparently.
Yeah, it's all seemingly been FSR or temporal anti-aliasing. They've got their upgrade paths. We don't know what the cost will be. So the big things were Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, like the big new ones, the big new first-party titles. They've got upgrades coming for a lot of the bigger hitters on the Switch. And the thing that dominated this thumbnail and headline, they're all $80. Bonanza's $70, but even like Tears of the Kingdom's upgrade, Mario Party Jamboree's upgrade, and Kirby's upgrade are all $80 if you buy them new.
Yeah. I think that it is a shame that more of the media aren't focusing on this price increase, because it is going to have a knock-on effect on the rest of the industry.
And it has dominated discourse around this announcement. I think a lot of the casual people, when it just comes to like, I like Nintendo. I like what they put out. I can't wait for the, oh my God, $450. Oh my God, $80. All my Joy-Cons are drifting. If you want to buy if you want to buy the console and say you want to get the new Joy-Cons because your Joy-Cons are drifting, that type of thing, because that happened to every single one we ever owned. The console's $450 before tax. The game's $80 before tax. And then if you want 3 extra Joy-Cons, they're $90 each before tax. So you're $800 before tax just for one game, 4-player. Like, they've lost the cheaper entry point that I think really helped the Switch early on. Because the Switch, the first 6 months was okay. It wasn't doing great. It wasn't Wii U levels of bad. It took off like crazy once they started getting more games, and people were like, $300 for a system, $60 for a game.
Just play.
Yeah, I can jump right into it. The Joy-Cons were $70. Whoa. But like everything's flown up. It's
welcome to the Cool Kids Club, Nerds and Other Legends. Joined XboxEra, supported here on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I have so many thoughts I want to kind of like break out. So pre-orders, you can pre-order by invite on Amazon. I think they went live in Argos, in Smiths yesterday and today. It's expensive, and $80 games are a lot of money, or £70 over here, I guess. But even worse is some of the physical carts that you're buying your game on are just a digital download, but you're paying more for it.
Yeah,
but this you have the potential to lose. You lose that, and it's gone. Right? It's just like I don't quite.
Thankfully, they are making it very clear on the front of the very ugly new box design. This is just the game key card. So far, it's mostly third-party stuff. All the first-party stuff should be
all the big games.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk is actually all there on its 64 gigabyte cart. CD Projekt Red spends the money. Yep, it's on there.
Wow.
But even
that's
like
really good.
Bravely Default is an 11 gigabyte download, and it's a game key card instead of just being on the 16 gigabyte default cartridge. So
because they don't want to spend
they're faster. They're a lot faster to read. Like it's a much better cartridge. It's the micro SD Express as well. If you want to add to the very nice to have now 256 gigabytes of internal storage. And of course, micro SD Express cards are now like 4 times as much as they used to be in Japan. Like people just went, woo, demand. Yes. Games look really fun. Like Mario Kart World, which is the one I'm showing, looks awesome. It's Mario Kart Horizon in multiple ways, and it looks really fun. It does not look $80 worth of fun to me. I have very nicely asked Nintendo PR, because I know my kids would want to play it, and there's going to be a lot of Xbox games on there eventually, which we'd cover for the site. Donkey Kong people seem to be saying is interesting.
Bit of red faction in there.
Yeah.
Like all the defamation of terrain. Like he can full on. I saw a time lapse. So he's like full on destroying the entire level from below, which looks really neat. Like that's the Nintendo.
That one's been a little less unanimously praised. Like people are like, this is fun, but it really is Donkey Kong Odyssey, where it's just you're going through looking for bananas instead of moons. Like it's just a sandbox type thing, so it looks fun. But when it's not Mario, I think people don't overlook flaws as much.
Yeah,
I think I'm curious how much people are going to want to do the upgrades and replay stuff. I wouldn't be shocked. Like if you already own Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom and the upgrades $10, why not?
fair enough.
It's finally going to run really well. It's going to look a lot better, and those games are great. I am curious how many people is this their main platform? Because everything I've seen from third parties is there's more third parties, but they still don't run great. They run a lot better than they did on the Switch.
This is another disconnect I have. It's like, like I think there was an article or someone rounded up every game shown and listed, right? For
VGC
the Switch, including all of the third party stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, what hardcore gamer doesn't yet own Cyberpunk 2077 as an example and wants to play a sub 60 FPS worse looking version of it just for the benefit of having it on the go? Whereas if they were super hardcore, they probably have something like this that can run it at 60 and it looks nicer and it's actually the version they already own. Like it just doesn't.
I don't think it'll get the hardcore because it's not the hardcore have either a PC or PlayStation or an Xbox, and that is their thing. And Nintendo's generally going for the casual. So I'm curious. Like I think the bigger things to have for the casual audience: a better Call of Duty, a better Fortnite, a better Minecraft. Like all that's going to matter. Like they treat Minecraft like it's first party already. It's one of the as Nick likes to say, it's one of the only things that gets to ever have Mario and Luigi IP content in it outside of Hitman. Funnily enough, you see the Hitman, you can dress up like Luigi to go do your assassinations.
Hilarious. Awkward. Switch 2 third-party games available at launch. So launch day, you can get Arcade Archives 2, Ridge Racer, Bravely Default, Flying Fairy, Civilization 7, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, which includes Phantom Liberty, Deltarune, Fast Fusion, Fortnite, Hitman World of Assassination, Signature Edition, Hogwarts Legacy, Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess, Nobunaga's Ambition, Awakening Complete Edition, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, Split Fiction, Street Fighter 6, Survival Kids, and Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. That's launch day. And people are going, that's an amazing lineup. And I'm like, is it? Because a lot of this can be played elsewhere for less money in better quality. Like, am I a jerk? Am I just a jaded?
Well, we are not the target audience for a lot of it.
I know.
Like, for us, Nintendo knows for people like us, it's their exclusives.
Yeah,
which again,
absolutely
they've
right.
got a decent amount, but not as many as I thought, and that can be on me. Like it's always an expectation management. They are trying very hard to ride the line, knowing there's 150-ish million Switches out there in some capacity. Half of them might be dead or not used. Who knows?
Or in Nick's cupboard.
Yeah. There's a lot of Switches out there. How can they entice new people? And I think they know they can't on everyone. So prices are up, expecting probably to not do the numbers they had been doing when the Switch was at its strongest.
Do you know anyone that has the Switch as their only system of play?
No, my kids...
In real life or otherwise?
My kids used it for a bit when they were pretty into some Nintendo stuff, but not lately.
I don't know, man.
Well, that's what we're talking about, TJI. There's the Switch as a platform in general is normally owned in conjunction with something else. That's the known or the accepted truth from most industry analysts. Like a lot of Xbox owners just have an Xbox. A lot of PlayStation owners just have a PlayStation, but a lot of Switch owners have a PlayStation
Something
or an
else.
Xbox or PC. Like, it's a more complementary device because it just isn't
A
the
lot of
best.
people buy it just for Nintendo's
Yeah, and
exclusives.
it's not the best place to play the most popular games, especially streamer
Yeah.
games. Like, how much coverage do you see of Schedule One? But that thing had like 500,000 concurrents on Steam last week, I think. So it's a weird industry where if people aren't playing stuff, they think it's not as popular. Like, Overwatch is insanely popular right now. But if you talk to people in the industry about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, Overwatch used to be great. I don't know what happened." And it's like, well, no, it went down a little
Still
when
is.
Marvel Rivals came out, and now it's put out updates that have pulled a lot of people back. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I said it before. It finally got revealed and everything. I think the biggest problem that Nintendo have, and you kind of touched on it, is you've got 150 million users. How do we make them upgrade? And I personally feel that, and again, this is again from my insular within the industry point of view, as someone who looks at a Switch and Nintendo's products as a supplementary device to my gaming content. I do not look to buy a Switch and then spend my money on third parties there. I just don't, and I never will, because I will always prefer performance and fidelity beyond what a handheld can give me. Which is why, when I think about Xbox's future strategy, the fact that they're going to have both a handheld and a big fat beefy console, PC, whatever the fuck it's going to be. You buy the game once, but I can supplement how I consume that game depending upon the game with another device of a variety of choosing. I'm not locked into this one thing that has to be both, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I appreciate that we're doing this on the fly and I'm somewhat rambling.
It's also interesting because there's comparison videos showing Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch and the Switch 2. And you immediately, if you're really paying attention, you're like, oh yeah, that looks a little better. But fundamentally, it's the exact same game.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that it can do 4K 60 and it can do 1080 120 is really cool. But it's because
very cool. I was very surprised to see
it's a Switch 1 game
running super fast.
Yeah, the exclusive ones, I think as the generation goes, it is again going to default to 720p 30 FPS for most new games, and Nintendo will be the ones who get really pretty 60 FPS titles out.
Yeah, it's the same as the Series S. It was touted as a 1440p 60 machine, and the reality is it's a 1080p, sometimes 60 machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, 1080p is fine on a handheld. I don't see.
And for the casual audience, they're not going to care. Like, we always come at it from people who care a lot more than the normal person does. The main thing that's gonna, like, kids are gonna want to play the new Mario Kart. They're gonna want to. No one's gonna. As good as Metroid is, no one ever seems to really want to play that one. That's why I think they haven't pushed it nearly as much, and it's not a launch thing like Mario Kart. But the casual audience is going to really want it, and then the sticker shock's going to hit, and I'm curious what happens. It's super expensive. Like, if you want to get a couple of games, Pro Controller, extra Joy-Cons, and the system after tax, it might be around $1,000 in the US, which is just a lot of freaking money.
And that's not even to mention if all of these hilarious tariffs and the entire world economy being in absolute shambles come to pass, because then things will get interesting. And I've saw some conjecture this morning from pundits that the reason the Switch 2 feels so expensive straight off the bat is that they've already taken in potential tariffs into account in the pricing, which again might lend to the fact of why it wasn't in the video, because then they could adjust on the fly. Like, they could have the video recorded and done and kind of like put it out in a blog post afterwards and adjust it as needed. That might entirely be accurate. I do find the UK price really weird. $394.99.95 or something like that. It's like, why? What? Never seen that.
And also them bringing back region locking for a much cheaper Japanese unit. It's like 20,000 yen cheaper, but it only works in Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah, because like the lack of region locking was really nice on the Switch. It was maybe the first time, if not close to the first time. And I don't know, Nintendo in general are allowed to get away with things others wouldn't. Like if anyone else tried to push this type of price increase just out of nowhere to jump from one $70 game to four $80 games right at launch is shitty. It just sucks. And people would rightfully get called out about it. But
Nintendo aren't. They are getting called out by average folks, like, you know, the audience, us. We're like, hey, whoa, hang on a second. But the actual people that can write about this stuff aren't quite calling out as much as they should be, I think, because it's going to have a knock-on effect. I actually saw some discourse earlier on the internet where people were blaming Microsoft for the price increases, because this is what happens when you put out multi-platform games on other consoles. It reduces competition and allows Nintendo to do this. So actually it's Xbox's fault. I'm just like, okay. Like, all right.
A lot of analysts are like, also Nintendo with this whole setup aren't really looking at PlayStation and Microsoft as their competition. They are looking at the burgeoning PC handheld market.
Yeah, which is a fair comment.
Yeah.
But, you know, the specs are good. It's a shame that the battery life apparently is worse than the original.
They said it was unavoidable.
Kind of
simply, it's a bigger battery, but
the technology hasn't really progressed.
Better screen, higher resolution screen running at a higher refresh rate. It's just going to chomp into the battery. They did say it's more of a hybrid hardware and emulation back compat, because if it was all emulation, it would eat up the battery because you'd be running full sauce on the Switch 2 for games you don't need to. So instead, it's a mix where there's hardware and software to make back compat games work. There are 120-ish that have issues right now, either launching at all or working. A lot of smaller stuff generally.
It's 120 Switch games have compatibility issues or won't start up at all. And according to Kotaku here, some games on the startup issues list include Another Crab's Treasure, Darksiders Genesis, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy, Pizza Tower, Rocket League, Super Mega Baseball 3, Warframe, and Trove. All first-party games will at least boot up and play on Switch 2. But all of these are being investigated, so they're still kind of like fixing.
They're doing the work. It's not a very big battery, which is like your Ally X, I think, has almost 4 times the battery size.
Yeah.
And like, it's not bad. It's just typically disappointing from them on the hardware front. Like, it's just enough to not be Wii U level, Jesus Christ, this is so far behind. Because as far as mobile gaming setups go, the initial cost of entry isn't too bad relative to like a nice PC handheld, which can kind of start at like a friggin' grand if you want one with decent internals on the newer ROG Strix lineup. Which, if that Asus is on the new ROG Strix lineup, is, unless Microsoft is helping them on the cost of it, that shit is expensive. Like, it's $100 to $150 more than the previous gen to make those chips because they're so good.
Yeah.
Super chat.
I want to visit all the chats. The super chat first, of course. Brandon Martin with a $10 super chat says, I did enjoy the hardware upgrades, presumably talking about the Switch 2. Them adding GameCube to Nintendo Switch Online and better third-party support and a brand new From Software title. I was going to pre-order one, but I can't support $80 games. Fair enough. You know, like, I think, and Tom Henderson was in the chat earlier on, and he said, Nintendo, where is it? I've got to find it. Nintendo out there. Come on. Scroll. Come on.
Watching this person use the Joy-Con as a mouse to play Metroid Prime is interesting. It looks really, like my wrist hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably get it.
I don't know where it's gone.
I don't know.
It was here. I swear. He said something like, it proves how valuable Game Pass is.
There's been so many people talking, it's probably gone now.
Yeah, it's weird. It was a normal message, but it's just weirdly not there anymore.
There it is. How much will we hear?
How much will we hear?
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah. No, there was another one.
How much will we hear? I was right.
Oh, it was Torn Raptor. That's why they both They both have mod powers, so I just confuse them.
Why do we
Tom
moderate
Raptor,
Tom?
CEO of XboxEra, says, Nintendo shows why Game Pass is so valuable and needed in these times. I mean, I think that's the thing, is when you look at these third-party launches, and it's like, if I were Microsoft, and Microsoft, look, I know you guys pop in on these shows, all right? Let's be honest. Just hear me out. And if I need to have a conversation with someone, happy to. But there is a really easy thing you could do here. Like, and it's just people, we've said this before on this show, we've said it on the Xbox Era podcast. The average Joe does not know what Game Pass is. They just don't. Your hardcore bubble know it and love it, right? But your masses don't. The number of conversations I've had with mums and dads at the school gates about when they are, oh, you're a gamer, what console should I get? And I'm like, well, how much do you want to spend? You know, where are their friends playing? But the amount of conversations where they realize, whoa, it's like I could just have all those games. I was like, yeah. And the beauty is, if they all have it, their friends all have it, they all have the same games, they can all play together. No one understands this outside of that hardcore bubble. And I think you guys need to do a way better job, Microsoft, of informing the masses. But I digress. That's their problem. The other thing I saw that will make Nick scream to the high heavens from IGN was that Nintendo did consider calling the Switch 2 the Super Nintendo Switch, but they didn't. There was a Q&A published alongside the Switch 2 Direct, and they conducted an interview with the three developers behind the hardware. And we even considered ideas like the Super Nintendo Switch, says Kawamoto. However, Super NES, which came out after the NES, couldn't play NES games. Since Switch 2 can play Switch games, kind of, it didn't feel right to use the same naming convention as the Super NES. Switch 2 is a new system with improved performance, but we'd like players who get their hands on it not to focus on the specs, but rather think of it as the latest system developed by Nintendo.
The reality is the Super Nintendo and the Wii U, whenever they do iterative names that don't make it clear it's a new generation, they don't sell as well as the previous one. The average consumer just needs to see a number, and that makes it very clear, this is the new one of those. Not
my gut,
this is the same one of those, but maybe a little different.
Prettier, yeah. My gut says that I don't think they're going to have as good a gen as they had with the Switch. Now, you might go, well, duh, look at the world. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But I just feel like when you combine all the issues, that all of this stuff that's come out after that Direct, I don't think people are as keen as you might think.
I don't think they ever were going to be, and I think Nintendo knew that. Because Nintendo knows better than us that they've never had two massive console generations in a row. They've always been up and down. Like the NES did really well, and the Super Nintendo a little less. Then the N64, less than that. Then the GameCube, a little better than that, I think. But then the Wii, woo! Then the Wii U, oh shit. Then the Switch. But during those ups and downs, they had the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, all in, even the 3DS, pretty much all doing really well. And they don't have
we've got some other super chats to visit here. Lucius Augustus, a member for 30 months of the Xbox Era supporter channel here on YouTube, says, I'm seeing early reports that to upgrade games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom to the Switch 2 version will cost $30. That's insane. I've heard it was only 10.
No one knows.
That's news to me.
Also, like the price difference between them would be 20 versus. So the price difference from when they both came out to their full Switch 2 price would be $10. So it'd be really weird if it's more than $10. If it's $30, then that's just, I would call that typical Nintendo bullshit. I'm also really curious. It doesn't seem like it, but does Breath of the Wild have its DLC in its $80 version? There's nothing indicating it does on the box, so I don't actually think it does. Yeah.
Nerds and Other Legends also in with a $5 super chat. Can anyone confirm if Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack members get the HD upgrades? What other perks do they get?
Just the two you get the Switch 2 versions of, you get the Switch 2 upgrades for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
that is part of Switch Online with expansion pack. So it's not just Switch Online, but the full thing.
Nerds and Other Legends also says, I like the anti-scalper efforts for pre-orders. That's right. Nintendo are attempting to fight scalpers by limiting pre-orders. It's from Nintendo directly, I should say, to Switch One owners that have an active Switch Online membership and have spent a certain amount of time playing or have purchased and paid for Nintendo Switch games, prioritizing those specifically with more playtime.
Yeah,
which
it's not
is
too
a
far
smart
off of
way
what
to do it.
Sony was doing with their Direct website, where they were like
Yeah.
focusing on people that were very clearly longtime users of the platform, which is good.
Very, very
There was
true.
like this, the show itself was solid. It was, I don't think the pacing was very good, but it's because it was just such a dry opening to explain the hardware, and they do it in a very basic, casual, friendly way, which I get.
And the weird demo of here's all the things the Switch 2 game. What's it called? The Switch 2 World Tour, Welcome Tour. $6 to buy that.
And people are like,
not
there's
a
there's a ton of mini games, and it's quite fun, but it is weird that it's $6.
Yeah, well, just give it for free, you big jerks.
But not
Lucius
saying,
Augustus with a $2 super chat says, imagine a Pokemon game for $90, and yes, it's still bad.
that's Pokemon. But
I mean, yeah,
it's just, it's a weird thing overall that they never get any pushback.
Yeah, like all the previews have dropped, and they're all super positive, apart from The Verge, who said, "Hey, this mouse thing." I'm paraphrasing, but they were like, "This mouse thing hurts," and I said this when we were watching the Direct. You remember? I was like, "Okay, so it's a portable console, and yet they've developed entire games that suggest you've got to be at a table." And I'm reading the Verge thing, and apparently Nintendo are like, "Oh no, you can use it on your legs, but you have to be wearing certain types of material. You can't have it on bare skin." And I'm like, "What? So you're expecting people to like? I know this is going to get gifted by someone, but you're going to expect people to do that? Like, is that fun or is that just fucking irritating? Like, I just feel like this has been designed, and yeah, it's cool on paper, and I can play Civ if it's my main machine, but I thought it was a handheld. And if it's a handheld, why are you giving it a mouse? You ever tried to get a mouse out in public, like with a laptop balanced on you, and you see that person like awkwardly moving it on their thigh or on the train seat next to them? Is that the world of the Switch 2 mouse? I just don't see this thing taking
They always
off.
have their gimmicks. They have the mouse, and they have their version of voice chat with the camera. You can use any camera. Their camera's $50 if you want it. Supposedly, a lot of the party stuff they were doing with Mario Party, everyone was on the same camera, and it looked like that with their studio lighting. You can share gameplay in their voice chat if you want. It looks awful. It's super low res, super fuzzy, tiny bit rate. Like I think little kids will love it because they don't know there's better things out there, and that's what they bank on a lot. The casual audience who aren't like, oh, Discord can do that, and it looks infinitely better on an Xbox and is getting there on a PlayStation, but they won't do Discord because it's not their thing, and they are very controlling in general.
Don't get me wrong, I was enormously pleased to see Nintendo
actual voice chat. That's always been the meme. They've never had voice chat.
Right, and now they have it, and it's there, and like they did specifically say, but it will support Bluetooth headsets, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Switch One supported way more headsets than any other console.
I mean, that of all the things beyond the mouse gimmick, that the whole bringing that Nintendo flair to an online world feels very Nintendo, but it feels like something that should have happened 10 fucking years ago. And I'm like, it's fine now that it's there, but like, is this still friend codes? I haven't seen anyone dig into that.
Well,
and
the UI looks the exact same.
It's the refusal to be like, hey, why haven't you done like a proper online gamer tag type system like everybody else that makes it actually easy to use and not shit? And no one it's Nintendo, that's fine. And it's like, guys, come on, we expect better of everybody else. Can we not jump on keep the same energy? You know what I mean?
Like, why I would never want to watch some. I also think most kids are going to know that you can stream and have games look a lot better because they watch streamers and all their streamers video looks great. Like, I know I appreciate the effort, and just the voice chat in general is good to finally see. I just think like the sharing and camera gimmicks and the mouse gimmicks, like having a whole button for chat is weird as shit. I don't know why you need that button to bring up the chat every time.
Because it's Nintendo, mate.
I
That's
don't
how they
know.
do things.
Yeah, it's not in the way. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's just more of those things. At least this one has a good stand. It looks like we'll see how the hinges last, but I don't know. Overall, it's pretty much exactly what I thought, except for the pricing, which is ridiculous. Like it ticks every box I was expecting and kind of hoping for. I was hoping it wouldn't be worse than this. They hit the expectation okay, but then they overpriced all of it to the point where I'm like, I would never buy this. And I'm the type who does like to own everything.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to pick one up, but I sit there and I think, okay, I've got a big TV downstairs. Mario Kart with my kids sounds great. Exactly to your point. Okay, like, well, it comes with 2 controllers, but no one likes playing like this.
And a lot of your Switch
do the
ones are
old
falling
Switch
apart.
Pro controllers work with it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
It comes down to a lot of them are breaking for me.
I don't know, man.
Like we've gone through so many because they break. They're chintzy pieces of shit, just like Xbox and PlayStation. Like they all break. So 8-bit dough, get to work. Give me some Hall effect Switch controllers that cost half the cost and last 10 times as long.
Do we know if the new ones are Hall effect?
No, they didn't say it, so I don't think so.
Okay.
They would have. They don't. So I don't think any of the main manufacturers want to put Hall effect in because they make money because you have to keep buying them.
Yeah,
they don't want to do Hall effect.
That wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, rounding off all of the Switch 2 discussion, color me moderately unimpressed, but I'm sure Nintendo fans are loving their lives right now. I know Nick is. He's immediately bought one or pre-ordered it
and asked me to get him codes. And I'm like, if I get anyone codes, it would probably be me for the site because you're not going to cover anything.
Yeah, you just want to hoard them. But if you want to check out previews,
Switch Pro controller, good. That was a good controller outside of the digital trigger, so you couldn't actually feather a throttle or anything. It's just off or on. I really hope the Switch 2 Pro controller is actually analog on the trigger, but that was a good controller, and that unlike their Joy-Con.
We'll see. If you want to see previews and hands-on impressions, they're out on the internet right now from a bunch of folks, from Danny Pena and Paris over at Game Tag Radio. I'm sure Kind of Funny have been there. Remap Radio.
Yeah, it was Tim and
The
Blessing.
Verge, all of VGC.
Dan
they're all there.
Reichert
Go read them.
For GameSpot.
Yeah, go read them. Have fun.
Yeah, they finally actually just said it. We did report yesterday on. I don't even think I put it in there because we were about to get to Xbox Game Pass in the news.
Yeah. If I just announced that GTA 5 is coming,
I mean,
I can see that in the chat.
Yeah.
GTA 5 coming to Game Pass and Enhanced Edition to PC Game Pass on April 15th.
Get to writing.
Thank you. It's Finn.
Here, I'm going to give you a link.
We can probably just retweet out our article and put an update on it. Put an update. Put update confirmed by Microsoft, and then just retweet the article. I think that would be okay. But whilst if you're writing, I'll talk. Outside of the news that GTA 5 is coming to Game Pass on cloud console, and the Enhanced Edition is coming to PC Game Pass on April 15th. Thank you.
First time on PC.
First
time on PC.
You're right. It's been Game Pass.
They built in the hooks in the Rockstar launcher to get it there. They did it last year, so
now it's there. But also they announced literally while we were streaming.
It's the Enhanced Edition. That's what people wanted to know. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, it is the Enhanced Edition. Abdul, I'll get to you in a minute. Elsewhere, Xbox also announced during the Switch 2 kind of direct yesterday, they dropped their Xbox Wire blog post detailing that Game Pass is adding a pretty good drop this year. Who's
going to be adding a pretty good drop is me into this chat in 15 seconds because Mr. B. Petike has just sent me 1 2-month gifted Patreon membership for the XboxEra Patreon.
Whoa.
Going into chat in 5, 4,
Pay
3,
attention.
2, 1. Go for it. Go, go, go. You get a
Boom.
free 2 months.
If you are a free Patreon subscriber, you can get free 2 months. Wow. That is who drops that?
Mr. BPETIKE. Petike.
Mr. I'm just going to call him because it sounds good when I say it and it rolls off the tongue. Mr. B Petike. Thank you ever so much for supporting XboxEra in the way that you have. You are a legend. Oh, I think my TV turned
It's
off.
the
I wondered why
supporter
my mic
tier.
went crazy. That's a high tier. Many thanks.
Thank you.
We love you.
Him, Peter Bonta.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a legend, Peter. Thank you so much. Game Pass of starting I think later on today. South of Midnight, Borderlands 3, Ultimate Edition, Diablo
Today
3.
is Borderlands.
Oh, okay. Diablo 3, Commandos Origins, which is coming to Game Pass, Blueprints, which I'll talk about extensively next week.
Hey, you're doing Commandos Origins too, you said. You guaranteed it.
Oh, yeah. I am going to try to do Commandos Origins. I'm going to try. I did have to tell PR we're really busy, and I'll do my best.
It's tough.
Hunt, the Showdown. All you need is help.
Hunt
Still
Showdown's
waits
going
to
to PC. It's already on console.
Yeah. And then, in standard Game Pass, we've got All You Need Is Help, Still Wakes the Deep, and Wargroove 2.
Hey, John, did you notice Borderlands 3 and Diablo right into standard? Bam.
Oh,
Immediately.
shit, yeah.
Immediately into standard.
I didn't notice.
Borderlands is surprising. Like, first party going into standard when it's an old thing makes sense. Diablo 3 with Reaper of Souls, thankfully, it should be. One of my favorite games of all time. My second most played. I might have like 9,000 hours in that game, which is nothing compared to the 20 or 30 I have in World of Warcraft. But can you tell I like Blizzard's games? Because I also have a couple thousand in Overwatch.
I can tell. It's
Borderlands 3 is a really fun game to play. Just you might want to mute the dialogue and skip every cutscene. That is a Nick game. The writing's not good. Like if you thought Borderlands 2 was funny, Borderlands 3 is really not. I will have South of Midnight coverage in 80 minutes. John will have Blueprints coverage closer to its launch of like the 10th, I think. No,
I think it's on.
No, not the embargo, the launch.
The
Jesus Christ. Not the embargo, just the launch. Launching.
Oh, okay.
I said closer to its launch of the 10th, not what the embargo is.
Oh, sorry.
You fool.
I beg your pardon.
We never talk embargoes if we're not allowed to. They'll kill us. Hunt Showdown finally coming to PC makes people very happy. I am curious if that one is becoming Play Anywhere or not. Normally doesn't. When it's late, it might just be a PC port, which would be cool. Either way, finally coming to PC. And now, I guess they're announcing it before anything else. The big one that everyone will play more than anything on this list by a mile is GTA 5 Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm going to give that a download on PC.
Yeah, I
haven't played GTA in forever, and it will look nice on this.
And I do agree, Abdul. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a better game than Borderlands 3. It was surprisingly good.
Now
I'm going to talk over John again. Oh.
Speaking of Abdul, he did shout out in the chat. He said, "John, sorry, we are still waiting for your Modern Warfare 2 coming to Game Pass report." I did report it. So it would be coming in March or April. It's only the 3rd, mate. Call your jets, yeah. Come and complain to me on May the 1st if I was wrong, okay? But then I'll tell you plans change and we'll all move on with our lives.
And then you'll run to the bank with all of your ad money you made for your live.
Yeah, all that click money. Oh, dearie me. He's a fun old time, isn't it? What else? John, says Abdul. Elsewhere, Xbox is celebrating 50 years of Microsoft. Yeah, that's right. Microsoft is a 50-year-old company. They've dumped a bunch of stuff celebrating all of their things. There's a 50th anniversary dynamic background for the really hardcore fanboys out there. I think it is pretty ugly, and I have zero interest in ever using it. But if you want to, it's there.
I like the 50 design thing. Like that looks nice. It kind of looks like Google, but they have got
a clippy themed gamer picture that you can have now, which I am tempted by, like, because that's where the real fanboyism lives in my heart. It's clippy. I always remember, like, and I'm talking like this is Greybeard going back to the early days of the internet. Really low bitrate 360p video of a guy like, it's like a giant clip in. It's like, hey, it looks like you're writing a letter. And there's a guy standing there going, fuck off. Hey, it looks like you're writing a letter. And then he smashes it apart.
I
Like,
forgot.
I'm not writing a fucking letter.
I logged out, so I got ads. And just to say, we know we have a lot of ads, but oh my God, are they doing well? So we get to exist. So if you're wondering why the website, and we try to make them not bad. If you click enter instead of double enter, like shift enter twice, it just puts ads like between everything too much. So we're trying to avoid that. The bar at the bottom, I don't think is too bad. The bar on the left isn't too bad. I think overall it's gotten better than it was when it first started.
Yeah, the video, we've got an inline video player now that actually has our XboxEra Patreon ad in it, which at least feels somewhat relevant, right? But like, as much as I hate video, like, and we're just being transparent with the audience here.
The forum is a work in progress. We are very sorry, Torn.
Yeah, don't worry, Torn Raptor. I know. We are working on it. It is a little frustrating that the previous ad provider solved the problem. The way these guys, their tech works, it's slightly different. There is a really nice guy called Tommy out in the US, has been diligently kind of trying to find the right path. And every so, he's even got to the point where he's got admin privileges to test, and they are working on it. It is a priority. Just bear with us. Like, we haven't forgotten. It wasn't chased particularly while I was at GDC, but I've been straight on it when we're back. We are still working on the forum side of things. It's my hope that we can get to a similar end state that we were with the previous provider. But the difference between the two in terms of us being able to like survive is like, there's a gulf here. So we're very, very pleased overall. But we appreciate everybody that visits XboxEra.com, has it as their homepage or anything like that, and doesn't use an ad blocker. It really does help us out in more ways than you could possibly imagine. If you see a link from us, just click it. Like, every little click helps. I know that sounds crazy, but we're not seeking to have like a 20-person staff and a massive office building somewhere. And then, we just want to be able to continue doing what we do. What else? Quick. On the subject of dynamic themes, there is also one now for South of Midnight that's available.
Yeah, it's their base key
South
art.
of Midnight. Yeah, and South of Midnight and Sea of Thieves have done a little collab, and there's some ship sets that you can grab
they
for
look
Sea
nice.
of Thieves available now. Yeah, they do look nice.
If you own the X edition, you get one version. Otherwise, there's another one.
Yeah, there's one that you get kind of like because you bought the X edition. I've never even heard of the X edition. Like,
it was because they had
that
Xbox exclusive cosmetics. Then I don't know if it's the P edition had PlayStation exclusives.
Abdul, what do you think the Metacritic prediction will be for South of Midnight?
We're not allowed to say.
Game, nor do I do any fantasy critic stuff because I feel like that would be inappropriate.
We count.
I've never,
so it'd feel weird.
So no, you'll see. Hour and 15 minutes, and you'll see Jesse's verdict. But we'll all be talking about it on the podcast because Nick, Jesse, and I have all been playing South of Midnight over the last couple of weeks. I want to say, more or less. Rounding off some other news here.
Little breaking news: that Game Hubs thing they're doing on the Insider program, they're making it so you can press X to go directly into the Game Hubs, or a single button press X to go into the game, or press A for the Game Hub. So they're keeping it on A because they want people to actually know it's there. That would be my guess. But if you just press X, right in the game. Yeah.
Fair enough. I like the Game Hub thing. I think it's fine.
Oh, if we got a cookie clicker ad built into the website, yeah, people would be there forever.
Like a game.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Make a cookie.
I've already designed one game. I can't go designing more games.
Yeah, just make like Nicky clicker. You're clicking Nick's face, and then different things happen.
He gets progressively more annoyed. Fuck off.
His nose gets even bigger.
Actually, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'll get to work on it right away. Thanks, Tom Raptor. ZeniMax Workers United, a CWA union, has voted to authorize a strike. Now, there is a bit to unpack here, so let me just go through this. They voted a couple of days back to authorize a potential strike against Microsoft after several years of negotiation have apparently failed, from their point of view, to find a solution to various issues. They have said that ahead of a 2-year bargaining milestone with Microsoft, the CWA represented quality assurance testers at ZeniMax Media prepare for a national strike. A bargaining unit of hundreds of video game workers at Microsoft's subsidiary have overwhelmingly voted by more than 94% to authorize union leadership to call for a strike. ZeniMax Workers United CWA and Microsoft have been negotiating for a first contract for nearly 2 years. We're not afraid to use our union power to ensure that we can keep making great games, said ZeniMax Workers United CWA Local 2108 member and a senior QA tester, Skylar Hinant. All of us want to be working. We hope that Microsoft will allow us to do so with dignity and fairness to all by securing a first contract with our union. Now, Microsoft did respond to us after this article went live. They dropped the team an email, reached out to Jesse and said that our quality assurance team is an integral part of our business and is key to our ability to deliver games our players will love. We respect the team's right to express their viewpoints and are deeply committed to reaching a fair and equitable resolution that acknowledges the team's contributions. There has been substantial progress over the course of the negotiations, reaching tentative agreements on a majority of the topics at the table. We have presented a package proposal that we believe is fair. If accepted, it would result in immediate compensation increases, even more robust benefits, and is in alignment to the company's hybrid model of 3 days in office. We look forward to continuing this progress during negotiations. That was from a Microsoft spokesperson. So I do wonder, because that last line, and this is pure conjecture on my part, so, forgive me, Microsoft and ZeniMax, but the whole is in alignment to the company's hybrid model of 3 days in office. It makes me wonder if one of the sticking points is we want you to come 3 days into the office, and they're like, no, we want to work from home, because that's been a general theme in a lot of people kind of coming back out of COVID and the kind of work from home rules that did apply. I do wonder if that's the big sticking point, because people have changed their lives in a couple of years, and now it's different, right?
Yep.
But look, I like the fact that Microsoft supports unions, and I like the fact that they have the power to be able to kind of be like, hey, no, we want to do
allows unions.
Yeah. Allows.
We haven't seen support.
Does Sony allow unions? Does Nintendo allow a union?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know the answers to these questions. I don't know enough, but I hope that they can.
So far, they have acknowledged them, and we will see how they support them.
But yeah, there you go. Next up, Spray Paint Simulator is coming to day one Game Pass this May. This is breaking news from earlier this morning for you American folks.
It went live when we did.
Leapt upon. Spray Paint Simulator is coming to Xbox on day one in May. This is North Star Video Games and publisher Whitethorn Games. And this is a relaxing, creativity expressing sim of Spray Paint Simulator. It looks nice enough. I mean, it's taking what Power Washer Simulator did, and perhaps you're putting dirt on instead of dirt off, right? It's similar mechanics.
This is a prequel. Very different devs.
Yeah.
But it looks nice. These are the types of fun things. I have no idea if it has co-op or anything. It had been announced for PC for a while, so this was also the announcement of an Xbox version at all. And it'll be on Xbox One Series and Game Pass. I don't know if it's on PC Game Pass. I would guess yes, but it doesn't say that in the trailer, so it's only a guess.
Yeah, maybe. We'll find out. Last story of the day for us here. BAFTA over in the UK conducted a poll or worldwide and have crowned a Sega classic as the most influential video game of all time. What Sega classic is that? I hear you ask. Well, head over to XboxEra.com to find out. That's all I'm going to say. It's clickbait in audio-visual form.
No, too late. I already put it in the headline.
Too late. Okay, it's Shenmu. Shenmu got voted to be number one. Yu Suzuki, original creator of the Shenmu franchise, shared his thoughts on the title winning the poll. saying, I am deeply honored and grateful that Shenmu has been selected as the most influential video game of all time. At its inception, we set out to explore the question, how real can a game become, aiming to portray a world and story unprecedented in scale and detail. Bear in mind, this came out in 1999. This distinction serves as a powerful reminder that the challenge we embrace continues to resonate with and inspire so many people, even today. It is truly the greatest encouragement.
Ooh, look at
It
those
was
shadows.
I know. It was a bit of a trailblazer in open world design back in the day. It released first on the Dreamcast in 1999 and introduced things like QuickTime events, boo, cinematic storytelling. Wait a minute. I suppose it is pretty influential. It also featured a dynamic day-night cycle, weather changes, and even NPCs with unique daily routines.
Yep, it is unbelievably influential, despite what you might think about it as a game.
I know. I jest.
Mostly for Chad, who are very mad, like over Tetris, Doom, or Mario. It's like, yeah.
I mean, Halo wasn't even in the top 20, I don't think. But if you want to know the rest of the list, Shenmue won the poll, with Doom coming a close second, Super Mario Brothers in at third, Half-Life fourth, then Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Minecraft. Weirdly, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 managed to get number 7, and it only came out like 3 months
bias.
ago.
It doesn't mean, yeah.
It's a bit of recency bias there.
It should tell
Super
you
Mario,
the quality of this poll.
Yeah. Super Mario 64, Half-Life 2, The Sims, and then 11 through to 21, we have Tetris, Tomb Raider, Pong, Metal Gear Solid, World of Warcraft, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 7, Dark Souls, Grand Theft Auto 3, Skyrim, and Grand Theft Auto.
This is how I hold everything, too, with my hand never moving. I just go. That's just the way he's holding that jade disc.
Who knows? Anyways, that is all of the news. But, dear friends, in precisely 1 hour and 7 minutes, if you head to XboxEra.com or right here on XboxEra's YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch the awesome premiere and incredible vocalizations, dare I say, sir.
Go read the article first and then watch. Or no, watch. Oh, it's a premiere. Never mind. After you watch the premiere, go to the article because it might be Pre-Drag's prettiest work yet. Yeah, Pre-Drag has done his magic on the kind of written presentation, and it looks fantastic. Would wholeheartedly recommend you scrolling through and let all the ads play. Just visit it every day. All those ads. Woo, boy, let all those ads play. It's a very well written piece, so I'm looking forward to seeing the community's reaction. But yes, South of Midnight's reviews are dropping in just an hour or so. So keep an eye out on the channel and our Twitter accounts for all of the latest and greatest. Or if you're in our Discord, discord.gg/XboxEra, you can participate in the conversation there. Or, of course, on our wonderful forums, forum.xboxera.com. We will be back, my dear friends, on Saturday for the usual Xbox Era podcast shenanigans, where we can have a good laugh at Nick and his opinions. Until then, my friends, we will see you next time. Be good to each other, play loads of video games, try not to take life so seriously, and we'll see you on Saturday. Ciao for now. Goodbye.
Something takes a part of me, something lost and never seen. Every time I start to believe something's freaking taken from me, Life's got always been messing with me. You wanna see the light? Can't they chill and let me be free? So do I. Can I take away all this pain? Wanna see the light? I try every night, all in vain, in vain. Sometimes I cannot take this place. Sometimes it's my life I can't taste. Sometimes I cannot feel my face. You'll never see me fall from grace. Something takes a part of me. You and I were meant to be. A cheap bag for me to lay. Something takes a part of me. Feeling like a freak on a leash. You wanna see the light? Feeling like I have no release. So do I. How many times have I felt disease? You wanna see the light? Nothing in my life is free, it's free. Sometimes I cannot take this place. Sometimes it's my life I can't taste. Sometimes see me fall from grace. Something takes a part of me. You and I were meant to be. A cheap bag for me to lay. Something takes a part of me. Boom da da dum da ima da boom da da dum dum ima da boom da da dum dum da ima da boom da da dum dum da ima. Boom da da dum dum da ima da boom da da dum dum da ima da boom da da dum dum da ima da boom da da dum dum da. So fight something on the mega ooh, fight some things they fight. So something on the mega ooh, fight some things they fight. Fight something on the here ooh, no, some things they fight. Fight something on the mega ooh, fight some things they fight. Something takes a part